One part of Hinata's journey has been bugging me slightly. If you remember back before he joined Karasuno, not having a team to practice with, he'd practice on his own. Obviously that's far from ideal in a team sport where everything you do is connected to your teammates, except serves. You can kind of practice serving and receiving on your own, but it's definitely not the most efficient way to do so. Serving, however, is different. It is, after all, the one play where you're on your own, and so you can practice it on your own, and it's exactly how it would be in a match. And so, especially after starting volleyball myself, I started to wonder why Hinata didn't seem to do so. You can imagine if he spent those 3 years practicing nothing but serving, he'd have a pretty scary one by the end of it. Maybe not on Oikawa's level, but certainly not normal either. My initial reaction was that this was a slight plot hole that was intentionally done, as Hinata having a strong serve from the get-go would have completely altered his whole development, and it might not have been as beautiful as it is. But having looked into this story so deeply and having read it all at least a dozen times, I know that Furudate is far too smart and cares far too deeply for this story for that to be the case, especially as a volleyball player themselves. And so there has to be a reason, and the obvious explanation is that the thought simply never entered his head. He idolized Little Giant spiking, and so that was all he ever thought about. I doubt he never did any serving, as he does get it over pretty consistently, but it does seem like he spent very little time on it, as he was instead constantly on the lookout for an opportunity to be able to spike. And the obvious lesson, as such I'm sure you're all expecting me to say, is that we should look at our own situation, how best to use it, and not what we would do in an ideal world or if it were someone else, as I used to do this a lot, thinking about if only things were like this, I'd be able to do that. Right? And that is absolutely true. That is 100% correct and exactly the point I'm making. Do what you can with what you've got. But honestly, it's hard to hold anything against Hinata for this. You know, he was just a kid who wanted to do something he thought was cool and fun. He wanted to be like his idol. Yeah, obviously, serving would have been the most efficient use of his time, but as Haikyuu shows repeatedly throughout the series, most notably in the Ball Boy arc, sometimes these seemingly awful situations that we see no merit in end up being our biggest advantages. But I've spoken about that a ton in these videos here, so go check them out if you want to hear me speak more about this.